Hello and welcome to another episode of The Mental Motivator. I am your host, Nakia Campbell, and as always, I am so glad to have all of you tuning in from around the world to witness ordinary people who've been able to use the power of their mindsets to achieve extraordinary success. Now, I am super excited about these beautiful guests that I have here today, known as the Dining Divas. They are here to disrupt the food and travel industry. Take a look at this clip. And we are back with the Dining Divas here on the Mental Motivator TV show. I want you ladies to introduce yourselves to the world and tell them just a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. I'm known as Christine Curran, the Spicy Diva, and I've been in entertainment my entire adult life, so it's all I know is modeling, acting, hosting, interviewing celebrities, building entertainment brands and companies, and I'm just excited about what we're doing with our empire.
Awesome.
Awesome. I am Tamara Davis. I am a realtor and I own a vacation rental management company. And I'm also part of the Dining Divas cast. So I am Saucy Diva. I love sauce.
Wow.
And new to entertainment, but I work very closely with Christine on the different shows. And it's a lot of fun. I love it.
Okay, so we got Spicy, Saucy, and
I'm Carissa Smith. So I'm very new to working with these ladies, and I'm so super excited. We have a lot of things in the works, so I can't quite let the cat out of the bag just yet, but it is definitely coming. I have always been an entrepreneur. So I also am in real estate, commercial and residential. I work very closely with Tamara here. And I've got some other projects in the works and looking to expand and open some new businesses.
wow, that is amazing. So you ladies are not just a bunch of gorgeous, pretty faces. You are realtors. You are out here making it happen, modeling, interviewing celebrities, and all the things. But just like the rest of the world, I'm wondering, how did this Dining Divas thing come about?
Yeah, well, through my entertainment career, I've always, I booked over 800 models over 13 years with my Fort Lauderdale entertainment company.
Wow.
In my 20s, and we were really well known for the Jello Shot girls, and it was a lot of fun booking models and promo girls and for fashion shows, music videos, but I was always the boss, right? And as much as I loved all the girls that went to college working under me, becoming doctors and all kinds of cool things, I felt like I was kind of missing working with like-minded women that are more my peers. So as that company kind of came to an end and I was still doing my TV stuff, I wanted to create a brand that was about women elevating together. So I wanted to bring in different entrepreneurial women from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different ethnicities to come together over food and travel. So that's where we are now.
Wow, and I love that you mentioned women elevating together, because one of my favorite sayings is, when one woman wins, we all win. So thank you for doing this. But as the newbie down here on the end, being a part of this amazing movement to empower women, what brought you to this group?
Well, specifically Tamara, but and I think that Tamara and I connected well on a mental level because we have the same values. I have always been that person where I like a team environment, and I believe that you can go fast by yourself, but you can go further with a team.
Amen.
And so as Tamara and I were speaking, our mindset was very, similar. And I'm all about promoting somebody. I feel that there's enough to go around. And I feel like I found my tribe because these ladies, as successful as Christine and Tamara are, that's how they roll, essentially. They want to bring other people up and promote other people. So
Right. And so with the Dining Divas, tell us about, let me go to Tamara. Tell us about, what is it actually that you do on your show?
So I'm very blessed. I've been able to combine things that I love. I love food. I love travel. I love real estate. I love hanging out with beautiful, smart women that are doing some really amazing things in their own right. And then we get together collectively and we dine at different restaurants. We travel around the world. Sometimes we have celebrities, and really, it's discussing ourselves, our businesses, what's going on with us in that location, what's going on in that location. The food. So it's always centered around food, which is a great, icebreaker. Everyone's comfortable and you're enjoying good food, and so that's what we do.
Enjoying good food, but you're enjoying good food with your friends, but I'm sitting here feeling like, dang, that sounds like healing.
Yeah.
You know? It sounds like healing. Like, I know when I'm having a bad day or I'm going through something, I will text my homegirls in a minute and be like, hey, we need a grown-up, like, mommy day. And it's always we're going to some nice restaurant that we've never been to. And we sit down and we have food and drinks. So to the world, it might look like you're just a bunch of gorgeous, pretty women sitting down to have food. But the world has no idea the struggle that you might have had that day or that week or that month. And it's such a blessing that you ladies get to sit here and actually use this as a form of healing. I love it. I love it. So before Tamara, let's start with you. Before Dining Divas, what were you doing?
So I'll back it up a little bit. I worked for a corporation in marketing and human resources for 15 years. Wonderful opportunity. The company downsized, and my position was terminated. I needed to figure out something to do for myself. And initially, my first thought is, oh, let me dust off my resume. Thankfully, I was dating a really smart entrepreneur at the time, and he's like, you know what? Let's talk about this. And so what I ended up doing is putting my house on Airbnb as a vacation rental, VRBO as well. And that was the start of my business. And that was November 2018. I've never looked back. It just continued to excel. I got my real estate license. I'm now a global realtor.
Global?
Yes. Yeah, you heard that right.
That ever.
That is me. Us. She is as well.
What kind of license is that?
Well, it's through Sotheby's. So I can actually do real estate anywhere in the world, basically. They have locations all around the world. So if you want to do something in Dominican Republic, we can make that happen. If you want to, literally anywhere you can think of, we can make that happen.
Right. And what were you doing?
Entertainment. I've been throwing, big celebrity events. I booked all the models. I had a huge entertainment company. So just booking talent and creating events and TV shows and all the fun things. I've probably done everything in the entertainment industry. I've tapped into it at some point.
Well, how many TV shows exactly have you created, been on, worked with?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Because you do have some other shows that you're working on currently, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So this is just a small part of our cast, but we have 6 girls on each show. We have Dining Divas, which is our restaurant show. So kind of think of like drive-in diners and dives, but like high ends. And then we have our Destination Divas, which is our travel series. So we do touch on restaurants, but then we're showing you where to stay, where to play, what to do, like all the fun things. And then it's all about storytelling. So we always like have amazing moments with locals and people, whether it's a heartfelt moment or a couple tears are shed, but we're laughing and having fun. So it's very women empowerment. We don't do drama. We don't do any kind of like fighting or any of that gossipy stuff on like the Housewives. Sorry, but I've interviewed a lot of them and I love them, but they're just a little too much for me.
Oh, the Housewives. Oh, yeah, I know.
So we're kind of the same format as far as having divas in different states and different areas, but we're all about empowering each other. So.
And that's great that you said that because about the different states, because I was going to ask if the Dining Divas was only here in Miami. But actually, I was on Google because, like, who's not? And that's where I was trying to get some information from about you ladies. And when I typed in Dining Divas, it popped up Houston. And I was like, is this real? So do you have women, do these women come to you and you say, well, yeah, we'll allow you to use our name and you can create your own group of women in your city?
So we are actually working on that, and I have a woman out in Dallas.
Okay.
She was just here last night, actually, that we wanted to do it.
Tell her I like to eat. Tell her I like to eat. Right.
I know, right? I
Right.
introduced you. So ideally for Dining Divas, we'd like to be like the Housewives as far as franchises go, and having different women in different cities and states representing the brand and showcasing what where to eat, because it's so diverse. There's so many cool places to go, and it's the culture and just the vibes are different everywhere you travel to, right? So if I'm going to travel to California and I could watch Dining Divas California and check out what they're doing out there, I might pick a restaurant based on what they showcase. Ideally, the idea behind the Dining Divas franchises, yes.
And I saw before that on the show, you would go in, you start with your cocktails, and then you would go back into the kitchen and cook. Was that right?
It's always good to start off with a cocktail, right?
Right, because the cocktails are good, but are you actually just dining or cooking as well?
We do cook sometimes with the chef if they want us to, or we'll plate with them. We want to learn about them, their history, their background, maybe the concept, maybe the struggles it took them to open the restaurant. There's so many stories, great stories, and that's what we want to tell. So, and then we come out and we dine with like a celebrity or influencer. So
awesome. And I want to go back down to the end again, because I know that you have something special that you've been working on, that you've been able to put out into the world outside of the Dining Divas show. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So, and thank you for that. So it kind of ties in very well here. As these ladies, Christine, if you see her work, if you see Tamara work, they do amazing things. And it does get hard sometimes, mentally. So what do you do with that? And there's ways to overcome that. And I've been in those positions as well, throughout my career. I've had a lot of, successful positions, dealing with successful people, but sometimes it just, you have to stop and take a pause. So a project that I'm doing right now is a set of adult coloring books. And so there's 3 right now. We'll take 4. There will be 4. I just developed another one the other day.
Okay.
But so, and these 3, they're motivators. So one is geared toward, just those everyday sayings that you need to say to yourself that people will tell you. And I'll say, hey, Christine, you're bad. You're a bad girl. Like, put your shoes on, straighten your crown, you got this. So sayings like that, to just I believe in myself. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I have
like affirmations.
Yeah, those affirmations. Right. But you also have the ability to kind of focus in on those things as you say it to yourself, and then you just focus in and you meditate it, you bring it in. So one is a motivational one. Then there's always the funny one that is motivational, but that's more of a cuss word. It's more of a cuss word, because sometimes in your day you're like, what?
You like F. Right.
Not me, not today. So, and that's real. So that one will also be coming out. I don't want to say the title on TV because I'm not sure if I can, because it's pretty vulgar.
Okay.
But I'll send links.
You can. For this show?
Yeah.
Oh, you can say it if you want.
Oh, okay. So the name of the book is called What the Actual Fuck.
Okay.
Because sometimes we have those days, like, what's going on?
Actual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just a mindful mandalas one with word games and
I love
things combined with that. And these are all born out of my brother, who had PTSD from the armed forces, and much of my family. And I say, how can I help him? But I can't. He's a man. He still has that pride. But his mind is going. His his motor skills are going. And I said, you know what? If I can put this out there for him and then share it with the world, hopefully that will help as well. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about that.
Right. Oh my good. I spoke earlier about your show, even the Dining Divas, just symbolizing healing for me. But even beyond that, you're not just doing this and, receiving healing for yourself. You've been able to take your passion and turn that into something to provide healing for the rest of the world, for people who deal with anxiety. And I think that women, men, the military, even children, maybe not the actual fuck, but, even children, may be able to, find some type of help or solace from everything that you ladies are doing. And so after this break, we're going to come right back with the beautiful Dining Divas for our second segment.
up, guys? Christine Curran here, the founder of Dining Divas TV, and we are coming to you from the beautiful St. Lucia. We just wrapped season 3 that's going on WE TV, and we are bringing Secret to Dining Divas. We have Dining Divas destinations coming up for the Travel Channel. We're going to be on Discovery Plus. We've got the app. So many exciting things are happening, and we, as Secret members, are excited to include you.
Yes, what an amazing week this has been, my Secret family here in St. Lucia, experiencing the best of food, fun, travel, the greatest experiences, and not only that, Adora with the Napoleon Hill Foundation to be able to bring us personal development. What an incredible week this has been.
Oh my gosh, when you get a bunch of driven people in one place, we create magic and miracles, and we want you to be a part of that.
Yes, Secret. So guess what? We are bringing you Dining Divas Escapes starting in January with our first season, and we want you to be a part of it. So stay tuned. We've got some really exciting things happening. Here is to the good life. Woo! Dining Divas and Club Secret. Here's to the good life. Woo!
Okay, guys, we are back for the second segment with the beautiful Dining Divas. And women, I want to jump into this empowerment thing, right? I've heard a lot about women empowerment for so many years, Women's History Month, women's equality, so many different things centered around women. So I'm going to throw some questions out there, and anybody who feels the need to answer can jump on it. I want to know, what does women empowerment mean to you?
Yeah, I'll definitely jump in there because, being a woman in entertainment, it's very stressful sometimes, and it's a lot of cutthroat and cattiness and women trying to compete all the time. And it's not a great feeling when you feel like everybody that's supposed to be your friend is really not. They're all out for themselves.
Honey, I can write a book.
Yeah.
I'm really big on like a collaboration mindset, and letting people know that there's enough room for everybody at the table. We can all win together. Having over 800 women work for me, I've seen and heard it all. So it's like really important to me to let women know that you don't have to be that way to be successful. So
Right. And I need to touch on that real quick, because 800 women working for, that had to be the hardest thing. How did you pull that off?
Well, over 13 years. So there's been, a lot of different, sometimes it's 100 or 50 or whatever at different points in time. But over 13 years, 800 women have worked for me at some point. So it's a lot. Sometimes you have to be very mindful of people's emotions and feelings and struggles and traumas, and and being a single mom of a daughter, I understand,
Right.
More than anybody, women's emotions and feelings. And so it's a lot. It could be
Right.
draining sometimes, but
Right.
I also realize how important it is to be able to feel that you can be authentic and talk through things, and that someone cares about you, and that, it's okay to have your ups and your downs, and,
Right.
and have support. So.
Right. And being a single mom of a daughter, what is the message that you give to her about being empowered, or how she connects with other women?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I always tell her, go, do whatever makes you happy and go after your dreams. And she's definitely doing that. She's going to school to be a welder, and it probably is not my favorite choice. But
Underwater,
I can't tell her nothing, because then I would be going against myself, right?
she's gonna be underwater welding.
How
Huh?
did you know?
Right? Oh, I was just joking. Literally, my brother got locked up in prison a long time ago, and that was the trade that he was allowed to learn in prison. Underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a wild little thing. She's a hip hop dancer. She's a welder. She's about 5'1", and she's just out there just making things happen. So I'm proud of her, and that's what I want her to do, is to go out her own way and do what makes her happy, and feels good about herself and empowered. So
Right. Okay. So that was a lot, and that was amazing. And I do feel, like you said, the competition. Why? When I wake up every day and I see another woman and she is beautiful, I want to say, "Hey, you are beautiful. Girl, where'd you get that lipstick? Oh my gosh, look at your hair." I want to compliment. I want to hug. I want to know who you are. But a lot of times that's looked down on. And I feel bad for being who I am, because not enough women out here aren't like that. But even as hard as it is being a woman in the industry with other women, I found that even being a woman in the industry, I found the need to empower myself because we're going up against the men too.
Yes.
And if we aren't going to stick together, like,
That's a fact.
if we aren't going to stick together, like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I'm so glad and I'm inspired and empowered that you ladies have each other and you formed this awesome group for empowerment to disrupt the food and travel industry. And my next question is, we're talking about empowerment. So what do you ladies feel changed in the world to where women needed this movement, needed to be empowered?
I think that we're now, with social media, with a lot of the tools that we have available to us, we're like, wait a minute, I didn't have this voice, so this Tamara now, as a little girl, didn't see this Tamara, didn't even know this Tamara could be possible.
Right.
So now that we know there's, sky's the limit for us. We can do anything, and we can actually do it better with working together. Christine's younger than me. We won't get into the specifics.
Yeah.
But she's very smart. She's brilliant, and
Right.
she's a very kind and caring person. And I've learned so much from her, and it pours into me and allows me
Right.
to then pour into other women and
Right.
share this gift, this blessing of. This is such an amazing opportunity. I've been working with Christine for about a year and a half.
Right.
And it's just so much fun each time, bringing different women, different entrepreneurs, different backgrounds, and being able to tell their stories and share their stories. They're speaking to the little Christines, the little Tamaras, the little Carissas.
Right. Because when you said a minute ago, the Tamara that you are now wasn't that person. And immediately the first thing that popped in my head was, man, we get to heal those little girls. Yeah. We get to show those little girls who they really are. Because if we can't heal those little girls, then we cannot heal ourselves as grown women. Y'all know that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So what about you?
So for me, I think what changed is a lot of what Tamara said, but personally, just for me, it's just, I feel like women, we kind of run the world.
And we do.
Beyonce coined that.
Right.
We bring life into this world. We balance, the men out, so to speak.
Right.
They
And James Brown proved that. Yes.
Yeah.
The man's
We
world.
raise the children.
Right.
And then we can also, when our bodies start shutting down, we end life. So, we're just powerhouses. So why would we not be out there to help share this and share our struggles and uplift other women and just and share our voices, because we have a lot to say. And I think as women, sometimes, we say, oh, I'm not going to raise my hand, or, oh, I'm just going to be quiet, or, oh, no, I'm not worthy of this. But the truth is, yes, we are. And we need to open our mouths and give our voices out and let them be heard. So I think that's been a big shift over the last couple of years.
That's so beautiful. Y'all so bold. And there are so many women out here around the world who is going to watch this show and be so empowered and inspired by all of you. Because yes, back to what Tamara said, you guys definitely have to do the work to heal those little girls, because whatever happened to you in your past was not your fault, but the responsibility to heal belongs to you. So outside of or alongside of, this movement to empower women through food, community, fashion, travel, all the things, what are some of the other ways that you ladies work to be able to give back to other women, or to be able to give back to charities, nonprofit organizations, or anything in your community?
Yeah, well, we are aligned with Action Against Hunger. I am a big believer in feeding the homeless. I've always done that with my mom and my daughter, and I want to dine like a diva and enjoy all the finer things in life. But I can't even do that without giving back to other people that can't afford to eat or can't, help themselves. So we are really passionate about that organization. They give 91 cents on the dollar to their actual cause, which, after doing a lot of research is probably the highest out there. So obviously there's some internal costs, right, of running any kind of organization. So I just found that to be amazing and really honorable. So that's who I love to work with. And they're all over the world helping people. So
Action Against Hunger?
yes.
Action Against Hunger. You guys can look them up, donate 91 cents on the dollar. That's amazing. And is there anything else outside of the Dining Divas or real estate that you like to do to help in your community?
Well, for sure. So in addition to that, we're very involved. One of the divas that's here locally, her name is Melky Jean. She has an organization. It's called Karma, and it's for women and children. Yeah. And so what she does is some really amazing things to her family. For example, they adopted 4 girls and they're raising them. The girls don't have a mom or a dad. Unfortunately, they're no longer here with us. And so they do different things outside of raising those girls. They feed the community. So, whenever there's food drives, I'm out there handing out food and packaging up food. And, we do different things at the senior centers and helping the elderly women. And so it's really capturing all ages and doing stuff in the community. It's very important to me. I grew up a bit rough. I grew up being one of those families that needed the food to be handed out, So I remember my mom driving us to different places, picking up food baskets to be able to feed us, right?
Right.
So I don't forget that. I will never forget that. So it's very important that I take part in helping to give back to people like that.
Right. Anything else?
Well, for me, Boys and Girls Club, I've always been involved with that.
I used to go to Boys and Girls Club when I was little.
My kids did too. And I just saw the power of that organization, and I loved it. Also, I like to give back to the community from a business sense. So I was a mentor, and I sat on the board of an organization called SCORE. It's like SCORE.org, and they help business owners from ideation phase to exit phase. You all know how difficult it is to start a business, and you need mentors and you need help and you need to be able to ask questions. And so I volunteered a lot of my time, and these resources are free.
Yes, I'm a SCORE mentee. I know them too.
So yeah, and
I
just
love
being
them.
able to tell people about that, like if you said, hey, I'm stuck here, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna say, I can find you somebody. And so that's one of the ways that I give back. My parents went through that program. They owned a very successful janitorial company from that.
Right.
And then just as I'm out in the community, one of the things that I love to do is just bless people. Like we were in Guatemala. I was in Guatemala about last March, and there were all these kids, and we were eating mangoes, and they were just looking at the mangoes, and I said, "Come on in." I said,
Right,
for
right,
all
right,
these
right.
children to have
Right.
mangoes," and it's just those simple things
Right,
like that.
right.
They were so excited.
Right.
They were just wonderfully excited. So I like to do those sorts of things as well. When I see it on the spot and it moves my heart, I'm just gonna bless anywhere that I can.
It's such a blessing paying it forward.
Yes.
And for me, myself, I try to be a blessing for as many people as I can, because I remember, like Tamara said, when I was the one that needed that help and the way that I felt, I don't want to see anybody have to feel that way. So even if it's the last dollar, the shirt off my back, the shoe off my left foot, I am the person who is out there trying to give back. And you ladies have been so blessed, and you've been able to bless so many others with your TV show, The Dining Divas, real estate, books, modeling agencies. That's a lot of success, over your lifetime. But we all know that whenever we see these beautiful faces, we talk about all this success, we share our dining stories with the world, there's usually a part of our lives that the world never got to see. There's usually some sort of struggle or trauma that forced us to be the strong women that we are today. And so what I want you ladies to take turns and do is speak to a woman out there, let them know the trauma or that struggle story that you had in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've never worked for anybody. So straight out of college, I was an entrepreneur and in entertainment, right? So very young, in my early 20s, and it's a man's world, and I got shut down a lot, and I had a lot of struggles with men, like projecting onto me, you know, making me feel, belittling me, like just all the different things. And I think that's when I really like wanted to empower women, you know, at a very young age, just seeing how hard it is out there. And even, you know, when I've been trying to raise capital for my company and things, like you see the difference in how men treat you versus how women do, right? And it's just it's always, there's always those different levels of just of struggles when you're a woman, I feel like. And I just want to make sure women know that you can lean on other women. And that's really where, I mean, listen, when I was in a bad place, she helped me, you know what I mean? I've helped all these other women, you know, there's this, it just keeps giving. We're just like constantly giving down that chain. And
Like a domino effect.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like you give, boop, I'm going to give next. I'm going to give next. I'm going to give next. I'm going to empower next.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it is a huge struggle out here. Being a woman, starting up a business, not being able to get the support that you need. And it definitely feels belittling when there's a man showing you you're not going to get the support you need. I was actually told as a female, and it's something that I've never really said to anybody, but you know, I was preparing to have this TV show, and I was told by a man, you're going to have to kiss ass out here if you want to make it. And I was like, did you have to kiss ass? And he said, no, because I'm a man, but you're a woman. And I thought it was the most misogynistic, sexist, nastiest, like, ugh.
We've dealt with a lot of, like, even last year, I probably had 5 different men just in 2023 that just came at us so sideways for no reason. It was just like, whoa, like it was wild. We had a lot of crazy stuff with men. Women, we've had all these great experiences. And don't get me wrong, we've got great men on our team. I have a partner, 18 years. He's amazing. We've got an amazing head of our brand partnership. We have a lot of great men in our team too, but there's just the toxic ones are really toxic.
Right. Right. I kind of read something that said, and I'm going to get back to you ladies to tell your story as well. But before we move on from that, I kind of read something where we're talking about men that said that the Dining Divas had like a competitor show that was a group of men. Do you know anything about a group of men that are out here?
Oh,
But
no,
they're
no,
not-
the
I think they're part
they're
of-
actually part of my company. So I started them.
Oh, you started them.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Network. So Dining Empire will be launching that this year, and through that network, we're going to have a lot of different food, travel, lifestyle shows. Some of
Okay.
them are original IP shows. Some of them third-party shows that haven't been able to get distribution are really awesome, and we're going to be putting them on our network. So.
Okay. So dudes, real quick. Hey, y'all want to dine? Come on, check them out. Check them out. Now, Tamara, we're back to you about what was that silence? What was that sadness?
I will say, you know, there's been some really not great things that have happened. I think one of the biggest hardships that I've had to deal with was during that time, 2018. I started my own business. I started the process of a divorce, and that took a really long time. He was taking me to court for alimony.
Uh-oh.
He wanted half of my house and half of my business that I started after we separated.
He wanted everything sexy.
Everything, and it was kind of wild. So for about 3 years, from 2020 until last year, I was in court nonstop.
Wow.
Every single month, sometimes a couple times a month. And that's really grueling. And a lot of it I went through by myself. I didn't really know who to talk to. I had a therapist, thankfully.
Right.
But I didn't necessarily have family or friends or just, you know, anyone outside of the therapist to talk to. And it was COVID. So I really dealt with a lot of it by myself.
Right.
And it taught me something very valuable to pour into myself. I really had to go very deep inside and meditate and take time to pray and walk and really make those things a very high priority, to get myself through it, and just to remind myself, stay focused on what you want to do, what you need to do. Don't let any distractions, because you got a lot of just wild distractions that will come into place. And believe me, if I would have poured energy into it, he would have tried to suck me into the miserable place that he's in.
Right.
And I refuse to let that happen
Right.
for anybody.
Right.
I'm in a peaceful space, and nothing's going to disrupt this.
Girl, you better. Hey,
I see over there.
wait, cause we about to raise the roof, drop the mic. Hey, give her a mic that she can drop. Give it a right. Don't allow anything to disturb your peace.
Stay focused on yourself, pour into yourself. And in doing that, if you do have kids, if you do have a business, it allows you to have a clear mind to take care of those things in a better way.
Right.
You have to be a little bit selfish, you know?
Right. And you have to continually pour into you, because you ladies do so much pouring into other people, but you can never pour from an empty cup.
Facts.
So continue to fill your cup, because ain't nobody coming to save us. There are no more superheroes out here in capes. They're not coming to get us. We have to save ourselves. And last,
So, definitely been some struggles. I could say the biggest turning point in my life was when my children's father got killed by a drunk driver. They were very young, 4 and 7. And I was like, what just happened? Like, I don't even know how to deal with this. But what I knew was my children were not going to become a statistic.
right.
I threw everything I had into those kids, and watching them, the success and bringing them around and all those other things. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have family help. I actually was fighting my family
Right.
for different reasons, for whatever. And it's just like that, they're trying to do this, they're trying to make it difficult. I'm like, come on, it's not about me. It's about these kids.
Right.
So I just had to say, you know what, I gotta just pivot another way and show them myself. And but along that way, there were some people that came into my life to, kind of help with that. So, but what I did not do, like Tamara did, I did not pour into myself. I
Yeah.
poured into my children.
Right.
And so it got to a point where, and I think the head came around COVID, now they're having different struggles. My daughter started high school at 12, college at 14, and, all this other stuff. Yeah. So she had, peer pressure issues, and I'm like, it's all crashing down on me. And I can't pour from a cup because I'm stressed out. I'm empty. I have nobody pouring into me. And so the universe said, you know what? I made you Ford tough. So what I'm about to do is just shut you all the way down.
Right.
Because you're going to keep going. And so that's essentially what happened. I had, I burnt out mentally, physically, emotionally. And that made me have to stop, put everything aside, including my children.
Right.
And just take care of me.
Right.
And do meditations and pouring into me and things like that. So I will honestly say, and I didn't raise my hand. So I would say to people out there is, it's okay not to be okay. Raise your hand and ask for help, and keep asking.
Right.
Keep asking to get yourself to where you need to be on the inside and loving yourself and you mentally. And if there's people that are not helping you, cut them off.
Yeah.
They gotta go.
Yeah.
And
That's important.
the universe is going to show you really quick. Here it is. So
Right.
you can choose to listen or not. But when the universe says move, move.
Right.
And move them right out of your circle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I would say too, I think the most important thing is that humans, we're all like trying to be so independent, and humans were made to be in community. So like you need to ask for help. You need to find people that you can trust and like your tribe, and if they're not making you feel good, if they're judgmental or they're not, supporting you, then get rid of them. Like she said, it's like snip.
Right. Right. Everybody's not supposed to be along this journey anyway.
Yeah.
You can't make it to the top carrying dead weight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? You won't even give halfway. You better you better drop it back down, let it roll down the hill like we used to do when we were little.
Yeah.
But so my next thing is, along with the traumas, and you talked about basically how you were shut all the way down. And so many people fear rock bottom. I kind of appreciate it because I've been there a couple of times myself. Because the thing about rock bottom is there's only one way you can go. There's only one way you can go. So I'm so glad that all of you have been able to overcome those situations and get to where you are right now. But I want to ask, how do you feel that the power of your mindset, of the power of the way you think, the way you thought yourself through these situations, how do you feel that helped you?
Well,
You want to go?
yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of funny, but not really, because it is the universe. We work very closely together, so a lot of times we will say, "Hey, I want this," and literally we put intentions to it, we put our thoughts to it, and that happens. So it's the power of manifestation. Once you realize you can actually control your mind, you can calm yourself down, you can relax yourself. And I think figuring out that power yourself through meditation, through therapy, through whatever different sources, walking on the beach, that helps to clear my mind. And then I can clearly say, universe, I want this. And I always tease, I say, give it to the universe and the universe will give it to you. And it's the truth. If you give the universe good energy, good vibes, good thoughts, I want these things, the universe will make those things happen if you're putting your intention to it.
Right. I always love to say, where attention goes, energy flows.
Exactly.
So,
You
yeah.
also can't receive what you're not willing to give. Like,
Right.
you can't be selfish and all about yourself. Like, what is your passion and what is your purpose? What are you giving back to the world in order to receive the things that you desire?
Right.
You know?
Right. That's good. That's good. How is the power of your mindset? Now, you were the one that seems to have the hardest time. You're fighting your family. You're out there alone. You had poured everything that you had into your children until you had nothing left. You was bone dry, girl. Like, you had to think. You had to change the way that you thought about yourself, your life, your situation, your kids, everything.
Yeah.
You had to change the way that you thought about those things, because if you didn't, you'd still be there right now.
True. Yeah.
So tell me about your thought process through all of these things.
If I'm being 1000% honest, I was like, God, enough. Like, enough. Like, help me out. And that's not a challenge to make it worse, for me to figure it out. But no, I started doing a lot of self-development and reading books and doing workshops on just the mental process, because I think everybody needs that. If you're a business owner, if you're a mom, you've got to get your mental straight.
Right.
And I'm glad that I did that for so long, because then when I finally kind of hit rock bottom with everything, I was able to regurgitate those things. And I said, okay, I got to start doing this. I got to start doing this. I got to start doing this. It still wasn't easy. And I didn't think I was going anywhere. Sometimes I'm like, why am I still thinking like this? But it actually truly helped. And then it just propelled me. So when I did get more tools and I was, introduced to different people, to help from the mindset perspective, it kind of just really took off, and it felt familiar. I'm like, oh, I've done this before.
Right.
I've gotten through that with this.
Right.
So it's going to help me again. And, let me tell other people about it so it can help them. But there are days that my mind was in the toilet bowl, and it's okay.
Right.
It is okay as long as you don't stay there.
Right.
So,
Right. And I want to remind everybody that you just said something powerful, like you were trying to do the work, you were trying to change the thoughts, and you were still feeling stuck, like, why am I still here? When you're using affirmations and trying to turn those negative thoughts into a positive, affirmations are not for who you are right now. You use affirmations to empower the woman or the man that you want to become in the future. So you can do the work right now. You can think the positive thoughts right now. You can say the positive affirmations right now, and you can still feel like, shh, okay? But you continue, because practice makes perfect. And you are doing that to empower that woman that you have already become. And just to remind you, she was always there. She was always there. So we are going to take one quick break, and we're going to come back so that the Dining Divas can let you guys know how you can find their TV show, where you can purchase books, and how to reach them. Are you ready to inspire the world with your story? Visit us at thementalmotivator.com and schedule a consultation to be our next guest. All right, and we are ready to wrap it up with the Dining Divas. So first, I just want to ask each of you, we've talked a lot about women empowerment today and how we can uplift other women. So I want to take a moment right now to if there's another woman watching who has experienced a similar situation as you, who may have felt belittled by people in her industry, or who might be in a position right now to where she needs that handout and she's not able to give back, or a woman who feels like she's at rock bottom right now and the words that she is speaking over herself are not making sense because nothing is changing. What is a piece of advice that you can give to a woman?
I would say find your passion and your purpose and go all in on yourself. And don't let anybody, not a boyfriend, a husband, a family member, deter you from what you want to do. Make sure you drown out the noise, because there's always going to be noise. There's always going to be little things that get thrown your way, and you just got to like move with integrity, move with grace, and go after your dreams for sure.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah, I again pour into yourself, and what I mean by that is if you need to talk to someone, a professional therapist, that's okay to do. Like, do that for yourself. If you listen to podcasts, read books, educate yourself, get yourself all the way together so that you can be together for everything else you want to do. And that means family, that means businesses, everything else that you want to do, you have to pour into yourself first.
Right. Nice.
And I would also say that what you're going through now is building your muscles. It does not feel like it.
Honey, we strong, man.
Right?
But you're going through it for a reason. And if you don't know where to start, I didn't know what I needed. I didn't even know where to start. So, and I think that there's a lot of people out there. So you can also just call your social services in your county and say, hey, I need help. And I don't know what to do or who to go to, or you can ask some friends. You can read some books, you can listen to podcasts, but just know that it's making you stronger. It doesn't feel like it, but once you get through it, and it's hard.
Right.
But once you get through it, you will be so much stronger.
Right. Right. And yeah, it doesn't feel good. Building muscle never feels good. Y'all ever been to the gym?
Exactly.
Trying to pull on them, trying to pull on them weights. How you feel after you done lifted them weights that day?
I feel great after.
Not me. Not me. My legs don't work when I'm done. Like, not me. Not me. Well, I want to thank you, beautiful ladies, for taking the time out to come and sit with me on the Mental Motivator show. And we definitely have to connect after this. I'm going to catch y'all on this trip y'all have coming up. As a matter of fact, when is the next trip?
So we do this episode. I actually just realized that I met both of these lovely ladies on 2 different trips that we did, where we invite entrepreneurs to come and be part of the filming and be part of the show, where we mastermind together over the Napoleon Hill principles. So we worked with Think and Grow Rich Institute back a year and a half ago, where I met Tamara, and then we worked with Napoleon Hill Institute, where I met Carissa this year in Mexico. That one was in St. Lucia. So we always take all these entrepreneurs to really fun places. We get to have adventures, we get to grow, we get to learn, we get to share. And our next one we're going to be doing is at the Sports Illustrated Hotel in the Dominican Republic, June 7th to the 10th. So you can participate in that. I would just say go to our website and get our newsletter, be on our newsletter, because when we send that out, or follow us on Instagram, because when we send out for that, you can sign up so you can be part of that. It's going to be pretty epic.
Right. So she mentioned the website, but ladies, go ahead and let them know how they can reach you and follow your personal pages, your personal websites, how they can watch your show, how they can purchase your book, whatever you have, lay it on them.
Right. You can find me online, ChristineCurran.com, Christine Curran on all social media platforms, Dining Divas TV and Destination Divas TV. And then you can go to our websites, diningdivas.tv or destinationdivas.tv.
Awesome.
And I'm Tamara Davis. I keep everything under Rentals in Paradise. So the best way is on IG, but I'm on all social media platforms. On IG, it's at rentalsinparadise.com. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's just at Rentals in Paradise. That's my whole website. Yeah, my phone number's there. Feel free to send me a DM, reach out. Love to help you in any way.
Right.
And for me, you can find me on IG. It is Carissa_Smith01, and that's Karisa. underscore Smith 01. I will, my books will be, the link for my books will be there. I'll share those with you as well, so that you
Right.
can send them to people.
Right.
And then my real estate website is carissasellssouthflorida.com.
Awesome. Well, y'all have seen and witnessed for yourselves the power that we possess as women to push through, to defeat the odds, to fight back, and to win in life, just like the beautiful Dining Divas have done. And y'all, they worldwide. So if you're a woman out there who is sick of struggling alone, who is tired of feeling belittled, who is feeling low because you've hit rock bottom, reach out to the Dining Divas or find a sister in your community. I hope that the stories shared today from these beautiful women have inspired you to find your own success story. I hope that the Dining Divas have been able to inspire you guys to help change the way you live, think, and thrive. Until next time, peace.